Hey there, it's Brendan Stoneman at Remax Kelowna, and I'm sitting with Owen of Reflections Pools. Now, regardless of how well a pool is maintained, at some point in the future, some of the components of the pool are going to have to be repaired or replaced. So, I wonder if you can walk us through maybe some of the kind of common items that need to be, changed over time and what the cost involved. So, I guess maybe let's start with the pool liner. How long does a pool liner last normally?
Pool liners are, again, we go back to how well you maintain your pool. It's, again, we use the analogy of a car. If you don't look after your car, the costs and the replacement parts are going to add up pretty quickly. Same thing with a pool. If you look after your water quality and you look after your pool, you're going to get increased life out of things like liners and heaters and pumps. Liners, typically, in the Okanagan, I've seen them last 10, 12, 14 years. And that's with people that really take care of their pool. I've also seen them last 4 or 5 years where they're not so well taken care of. It's hard to say. Sometimes it's where the sun is beating on them all the time. There's all kinds of environmental factors that will affect that. Pretty easy to say that you should get 5 to 10 years out of a liner easily.
Okay. And then what's the cost involved to change them? And again, knowing that will vary, of course.
Yeah, it varies with size of pool, shape of pool. It's typically what's involved is just cutting the old liner out and ordering a new liner and putting it in. They can range anywhere from the lower end, smaller pools, $3,000 up to $5,000 or $6,000 to replace a liner. Hopefully, if you're looking after your pool, you get 10, 12 years out of it, and you're not replacing it that often.
Okay. And then what about the heater, or the mechanical items there? How long are those expected to last if they're looked after?
Again, I've seen those things last 10, 12, 15 years. Water quality is a huge contributor to those lasting that long. Pumps, especially with saltwater, we talked about saltwater earlier, we see pumps failing at the 4 and 5 year mark because salt's so hard on them. So the lifespan of the above ground equipment, pumps, heaters, can vary greatly. Some are very expensive to fix, some aren't so expensive to fix. You take, for instance, a pump, a water pump, the average one can run around the $500-600 mark to replace. Go up to variable speed pumps or variable flow pumps that do different things, you might be looking at $1,000 or $1,200 to replace.
And then what about the covers? I guess whether it's a solar blanket or one of the automatic.
The auto covers. Solar blankets typically with our Okanagan heat, they don't last as long as what the manufacturers suggest, and it's because of our hot summers. Typically, with my pool, and I like to think I look after it, I get about two years out of my solar blanket, and then I'm replacing it. Solar blankets, again, depending on the size of your pool, $200 to $300 every couple years. Auto covers, looking after the fabric, it could last for a very long time. Again, same length as your liner, 10, 12, 14 years. You get a lot of time out of those auto cover fabrics.